Hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer Bento-Pinion. I am here at MEFA on the college planning team as MEFA Pathways Program Manager. And today we are going to focus on MEFA Pathways College Comparison feature. So just in case you're not familiar with MEFA Pathway, MEFA Pathway is a complete college and career planning resource for students, high school counselors, and education policymakers across the Commonwealth. It's offered to all middle and high schools in Mass, free of cost by the Massachusetts Educational Financing Authority. MEFA Pathway plays a key role in the Commonwealth's efforts around college and career readiness and success by increasing access to information about higher education and career opportunities for all types of students. MEFA Pathway provides access to academic and professional success to learners across the Commonwealth by setting each student on a path to college and career success. So rather than a one-size-fits-all approach to future planning, MEFA Pathway is tailored to meet the needs of the Commonwealth's diverse student and workforce populations by offering comprehensive tools in one easily accessible website. MEFA Pathway offers interactive planning, college and career search tools, provides comprehensive data on student academic readiness and success, as well as offering communication tools and centralized student tracking. So the registration process for a student is quite simple. So any student in Massachusetts can register an account regardless of if their school has implemented MEFA Pathway into their curriculum and that they're considered one of our affiliates. So I'm just going to I'll go through the registration process very quickly, and then we will get right into our college comparison tool. So this is our main landing page here. This is mefapathway.org. As a student, the student just clicks I'm a student. And then as a first-time user, they would click register here. And then they'll be brought through 3 steps. First being first name, last name, date of birth. They do have to follow the format. They select the city or town that their school is in. And then from there, all the schools within that city or town will be included in this drop-down box. On the subsequent pages, they will then create a username. They will create a password. They will add their address in. They will add in an email address, which they need for if and when they need to reset their password. And they will also create 2 security questions, and that is another way that they could reset that password if that's forgotten. So once they do that, they will then have their username and password. So when they come in to sign in, they just type in their username and password and click submit. So at the conclusion of this webinar, I will put up my contact information on the screen along with these credentials here that you will have access to log into my test account here. So you can come in at your leisure and poke around in the site. So here is the main dashboard that the student sees when they log in. As you can see, my test account here is a grade 11 student. And what the dashboard does for the student is it allows them to see per grade level what they should be doing in the site, suggested activities that per grade level. So as a grade 11 student, grade 11 students are updating their profile, which feeds into a resume piece. They're maybe retaking those assessment tests. They're updating their goals and strategies. They're continuing to explore career paths, updating their college list, etc. So the college comparison tool is perfect for grade 11 students. I mean, it's great for any age student to kind of start looking at different options for themselves, but especially in grade 11 when students are really trying to decide what schools they will be applying to their fall of their senior year or winter of their senior year. Many students are applying early these days, so the process is becoming earlier and earlier. So now our juniors are really hitting the ground running. When they hit that that the fall of their senior year, September of their senior year. So what I'd like to show you first is we have a new feature that we have just added to the portal here. So if we go to Pay for College, under the Pay for College tab, you will see the Mass State Benefits tab and My Mass Benefits. So the Mass State Benefits feature here uh, is is excellent. It's actually comes out of an initiative out of the Executive Office of Education, and it allows for students to learn how to save on the cost of education by looking at options through a cost reduction plan. So students create plans showing various combinations of cost reduction options to determine an estimate of savings when a student starts at a community college and then potentially may transfer to a 4-year college or university. So we really want students to think about that option of starting at a community college and what it looks like as far as the savings goes. So we're going to tie this into the college comparison tool. That's why I wanted to show this to you first. So I'll show you how this works. So I'm going to click here. If you start at, so we're going to select one of the community colleges here. And let's see, I'm going to say we're going to start at Middlesex Community College. And then we're going to transfer to, let's say we're going to transfer to UMass Lowell. So once I select those two colleges, then I'm going to see the 3 different programs that are offered. So we have the Gen Ed Foundation program, we have the A to B program, and then we have the Commonwealth Commitment program. So all of these 3 programs differ, and as you can see, the estimated savings differs as well. So just for purposes of showing you how this works, I'm going to save this A to B program. You can type in a different name if you like. I just like to keep that as is, so we're going to save that here. And then once that's saved, that then appears on the student's My Mass Benefits list. So we're going to click on that, and I'll show you all of so this student has added 5 plans to their list. And as you can see, the one that we just added is at the very top here. So once we start creating those different plans, and a student can save as many as they like, then they can apply those plans or a plan to the college comparison. So I just went to search colleges, and now I'm going to go to college compare, and I'm going to show you how this works. So again, this is a great tool for students to use when they're in the midst of their college tours. They're visiting all these great campuses. They're looking at the academic side of the institutions. They're looking at the financial piece, of course, and they're thinking about location. Where do they want to be? What size school? All of those criteria are really important to when a student's deciding what schools they want to apply to. But keep in mind, all schools, they have application fees, so you don't just want to apply to 15 schools kind of willy-nilly. You want to make certain that not only can the student see themselves attending any of these schools, regardless of if it's a safety school or a target school or a reach school, but the criteria fits for them. So we'll build out a search here for you. So we're going to start off with selecting colleges from the student's college list. So prior to this, the student has been in the site. They've searched for colleges on our college search feature. They've built out a list. Maybe they have a list of 30 colleges that they're potentially thinking about, but this is going to help them narrow that down. So I click on my college list, and let's see, we're going to add. Let's add Fitchburg State. We're going to add Bridgewater State. we're going to add, let's add University of Maine. Okay, so we've added 3 from our college list. You can see them here. Now I want to add a school maybe that's not on my college list. So I'm going to add, I'm going to start typing it in here. If I could spell it correctly. University of Mass. A little slow here, sorry. Lowell. Okay, so I'm going to pick that one. Just clicked on it here. Okay, and we have it here, so it's been added down here. So now we have 4, and now I would like to add one of the Mass benefits plans. So I'm going to add that one we just created, Middlesex Community College to UMass Lowell, the A to B program. I'm going to add that. So now we have, you can add up to five schools. So I have my 5 here. I always keep all of my criteria checked off because I want to see the full chart. And then I would like to, I'm going to click use my preferences. And now I'm going to set my preferences. Okay, so I just click on a little set. So I'm going to say, so I want a school, maybe my school size, I want 7 to 14,000 students. Maybe I want to be in either suburban or a small town setting. Let's say that tuition, I'll set as 10 to 25. I'm going to keep the admission difficulty just not checked off. Maybe my GPA is a 3.4, so I'm going to select between a 3.0 and a 3.5. Maybe I got between a 21 and between 21 and 25 on my ACT. And let's see, maybe I did between 1,500 and 1,800 on my SAT. And here's the new scores. So we're going to slave or load this comparison, and we're actually going to name it. So I'm going to put a date on this. I like to put the date on those. So I'm just going to put February 2020, and now we're going to save this. So now I would like to show that comparison. So a student can save up to as many comparisons as they like. So as you can well imagine, so many different combinations that they can do here. So we have our Mass State Benefits program that we added here in purple, and then the 4 schools. And we also here on the chart, we have our preferences. So if the box is shaded in red, it indicates that it might not be 100% match. So based on what the preferences are here, so our student, let's look to see if we want to see the names of the schools here. We have, we have the schools going across here. So, and then we have, if it's highlighted in red, it means it's not 100% match. So looking at just, for example, the size of the student body, 7 to 14,000 students, we're seeing that 3 out of 5 of these are either above or below, but Bridgewater State and University of Maine are right in there. Let's scroll down a little bit. We'll see different different information here. So we're looking at the financial information. We're seeing that all of these schools really go above the student's annual estimated total cost, not unusual. And then we'll see that the academic information here. So 3 out of the 5 schools are right in there with the student's GPA. So these 3 schools would be target schools, and then these 2 schools may be more of a reach school. So in this student's case, we may come back and say, you might want to think about adding a couple of schools to your list where you fit that GPA, where the recommended GPA is, or the required GPA is a little lower than yours. So that would make it more of a safety school for you. So this really, looking at it side by side can give the student a really good idea of if they actually want to add that school to their applications list. So again, they can take a school off the list if they like. They can, take one of these schools off by just clicking an X. Then they can replace it with another school, or they can just start from scratch. This search was saved, so they can come back to this particular search. But again, just a great way to see how the schools line up against one another. All right, so that concludes our webinar for today, our feature on the college comparison. I will leave my contact information here along with the credentials to that test account that I signed in. So I'll leave these up for a couple minutes so you can take a screenshot if you like. And certainly if you are an educator and interested in using MEFA Pathway at your school, certainly get in touch with me by phone or email. If you're a student or a parent and you have further questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you for joining today, and have a great day.